able to understand anything, okay? Okay, so we are on chapter number 1. This is going to be the last class, most probably, for chapter 1. That is quadratics. Okay. So what do we understand by quadratics or any quadratic equation? That the degree of equation should be 2. If I talk about the general form of quadratic equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, okay? And if I talk about some random mixed examples, and I refer to their graphs which we discussed yesterday. So if we have, let's say, 2x square plus 3x plus 1 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation. X squared equals 4. This is also a quadratic equation. Okay, why? Because I can write it as x squared minus 4 equals 0. And yes, the degree of this equation is 2. So this would be a quadratic equation, right? Okay. Other than this, we know that, let's say if we have x plus 1 into x minus 1 equals 0. Now, apparently it looks like a degree is 1 because 1 is the power of x, but it's not the case, right? You have to expand it and then you will understand that this is not a linear equation. This is a quadratic equation. X into x will give you x squared minus x plus x minus 1 equals 0. You can cancel these two and still the degree is 2. So x squared minus 1 equals 0. This is also a quadratic equation. So any questions so far? No, yes, please answer me.
No.
Okay, so if I talk about some examples which we discussed yesterday, just for our reference, let's talk about y equals x squared. Okay, so I told you this is the most general curve and we plot it this way and we call it a parabola. And we make some changes in the general form and then changes on the graph accordingly. For example, if I say I'm adding plus 1, if I'm adding 1, this point will move 1 unit above and my graph would look like this one, right? This would be 1. Okay, then what if I had x plus 1 square, okay? We discussed all this. When we add 1, we move the graph to 1 unit left. So this would move to 1 unit left and this would be minus 1 and this would be the shape. Now what do we have to find? We need to find this point. In this case, it looks like it is 1, but it is not necessarily 1. We have to find that. How do we find that? This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. On y-axis, x is 0. We need to use x equals 0 in this equation. Y equals 0 plus 1 square. And this turns out that y is 1 when x is 0. When is x 0? X is 0 on this point. So y would be 1, right? This is how we discussed such quadratic curves. Okay, is that okay? Was it understood yesterday? Yes, Gayatri and Haris. Okay. Right, perfect. So let's talk about some more types. For example, let's say that you were asked to plot x plus 2 into x minus 3, okay, equals 0. Now I told you, and you guys know that you don't have to say that this is not a quadratic curve. This is a quadratic curve because just like this example, when we multiply x with x, the power becomes square. Okay, the power becomes 2. So this is a quadratic curve. For plotting such quadratic curves, you don't have to expand it. What if we expand it? We will get x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 equals 0. X squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. And I told you how to plot such curves by completing square method, right? But you don't have to complete the square if you have your quadratic equation in the factorized form. Why? I will tell you. Think about this equation as a question, and let's say that you have been asked to find the roots of x. How do we find roots then? We say x plus 2 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. This implies x equals minus 2 and this implies x equals 3. So this means that these are the two roots. This means that if we want to plot it on the curve, these would be the points on y equals 0. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. Where is y 0? On the x-axis, y is 0. Okay, so we know that on y equals 0, at y equals 0, our graph will pass through x minus 2 and x3. This is minus 2 and this is 3. And okay, I know that my curve is going to pass through these 2 points. So either the shape would be of this type, or it could be that the shape is of this type, right? How do we determine that? Like, just know that it would be passing through 3, okay?
This depend on the sign.
Very well done, excellent. That when we multiply x with x, if we are having positive x square, it would be a U-shaped curve like this one. And if you're having a negative sign, it would be other way around, right? So we know that when we multiply, we will get x square minus x minus 6 equals 0. We did that, okay? Since this is positive, this would be a U-shaped parabola. Okay, that's perfect. And what about this point? What about this point? How do we find this point? Any idea? Okay. Now, when we will go to differentiation, I'll tell you there's a separate method for that. But right now, at this point, you can find this point very easily. How? I'll tell you. Please note these things down, okay? Now, this is minus 2 and this is 3. And this point is right in the middle of minus 2 and 3. So what would be this value between minus 2 and 3? Anyone? Anyone who can tell me? This should be 1 by 2, because 1 by 2 to minus 2 is 2.5 units and 1 by 2 to 3 is again 2.5 units. So we need to find the midpoint of 3 and minus 2 divided by 2. That will give me 1 by 2. Now I know that at this point, the x coordinate is 1 by 2. And what about the y coordinate? How do we find the y coordinate? By using the given equation. I use 1 by 2 in x and whatever I get would be my y. Can you please tell me what would be the value of y in this case?
Minus 6.
Minus 6. Okay. And how have you calculated that? Let's do that together.
y एक्सिस की वो एक्सिस की जगह मैंने 0 पुट किया क्योंकि y एक्सिस को किया था.
Okay, wait. So we have to use x equals 1 by 2, okay? 1 by 2 plus 2 and 1 by 2 minus 3 equals y, okay? This is not 0. Now this would be the value of y, okay? And we will have 5 by 2 multiplied by what? 1 by 2 minus 3 will give me what? Minus 3 by 2. And this is minus 15 by 4. Did you understand? Okay, now listen to me. Okay, I will repeat this. Okay, look. Again, this is a different type of plotting. Yesterday, we discussed simple plotting, and we don't have that complicated plotting. Okay? Plotting is simple, but still, this is a bit different. In this question, what we had was that we were given that this is the factorized version of our quadratic equation. Okay? And let me write y here. Okay, this was the equation initially. I need to find these 2 points just to know that x-axis के ऊपर मेरा curve कहाँ से गुजर रहा है. And I know that on x-axis y is 0. So I will use y equals 0 in order to find this x and this x. ठीक है? Whenever I'm interested in finding one coordinate, I need to know the other one. Obviously, this is an equation with 2 variables. I cannot compute 2 variables from one equation. So I need to have one variable in order to find the other variable, right? I know that my parabola is going to pass through the x-axis. What is the value of y at x-axis? The value of y at x-axis is y equals 0. So I used y equals 0 and I got minus 2 and 3. This is clear? This should be, okay? Next thing is this point. Again, for this point, I need 2 points. I need x and y. I need x and I need y, okay? How do I find x? I cannot find both using one equation. I know that this point, the x coordinate would be between minus 2 and 3, okay? So minus 2 and 3 का जो middle point होता है, that is 1 by 2. So now I know that 1 by 2 is the x coordinate. I have my x coordinate. I can use this equation to find the y coordinate. Yes, हमेशा middle होता है. Yes, हमेशा middle होता है. Okay. This point, the x coordinate is always the midpoint of minus 2 and 3 is always the midpoint of these 2 points, right? Because it is a symmetric curve. Now, although my curve doesn't look like a symmetric one, but it is a symmetric curve. So is it okay, Gayatri? Please tell me openly if you have not understood it again. I will repeat it again. I don't mind repeating. You guys know that very well. Okay. Okay, perfect. Right. So let's talk about another example and then we'll talk about the last thing which we have to discuss in this section. Okay. What if this is the question? Y equals x square minus 4. Okay. Now for this, we have multiple choices, right? We have multiple choices. First thing is first, let's just draw the axis, y-axis, x-axis. And Fahad, you're more than welcome. You can ask me, okay? If you're not able to understand anything, please feel free to ask me. Okay. Now we know that this is a quadratic curve. What is the sign? It is a plus sign. This is understood that this would be a U-shaped curve. But would it be a general U-shaped curve or there would be some changes? I do see that I have minus 4 here. So I need to go 4 units down. Initially, I used to plot for y equals x squared this curve, but now I have minus 4, so I will go 1, 2, 3, 4 units down. This means that I will have this, okay? I will have this. Now again, this is clear, this would be minus 4. The y coordinate would be minus 4. And what about the x coordinate? Well, it is understood that x coordinate would be 0 because it is the y-axis, but let's fix the rules. Let's do it this way. That again, we have our y coordinate. If we are interested in finding the x coordinate, we can do -4 equals x square minus 4. -4 and -4 would be cancelled. This implies that x equals 0. And this was already understood. So this means that the coordinates of this point would be 0 and -4. Any questions so far? Anything that you have not understood? Okay. Now, this is clear. And what is the next thing? We need to find this point. We need to find this point. How do we find these 2 points? Using this equation. Why this equation? Because this is the equation of our parabola, right? So what is the special thing about these 2 points? Where are these 2 points? These 2 points are on x-axis. What is the value of y on x-axis? The value of y on x-axis is 0, right? This should be understood by now that the value of y at x-axis should be is 0. Okay, so I'll rub this. And this is the x-axis. Okay, so we know that at x-axis y is 0. So 0 equals x square minus 4. This implies x. I'll take this -4 to that side and I will get x square equals 4. And again, I have square here. I will take under root and this will give me plus minus 2. This means that x is 2 and x is -2 when y is 0. Now, obviously, x would be 2 means this is 2, right? This cannot be -2 because this is the positive x-axis and this would be -2. So is it understood? Anything that you have not understood? Okay. Now let's talk about okay. Y equals minus x square. Yes, Fahad? You read?
Ma'am, I've already covered this chapter, so today is my first class. Can we do something else? मतलब कि ये बहुत easy लग रहा है, तो मतलब मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि एक बार डेमो लेसन जो है ना वो मेरा किसी ऐसे टॉपिक को जो मतलब मुझे इतना अच्छे से ना आता हो.
ठीक है, तो
तो
okay, what we can do is that you can leave the meeting right now, okay, because you're done with these and we will do a past paper together, okay, for the demo class. I'll text you the timings, okay?
या ठीक है, okay.
Okay, chale, okay, thank you. Right, so let's talk about this. Okay, now what about this? This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, and we know that this would be a parabola because the power is 2. This is a quadratic curve. The sign is minus. It would be this shape of a parabola. And this is -4. Okay. So if this used to be my point for y equals minus x square, what will happen for this? This point will again drop to 1, 2, 3, 4 units and will become this. Now, Now, again, the coordinates of this point are 0 and -4. And the thing which is very important is that now this parabola is not passing through the x-axis. Let's see if we can find out any roots. Okay, I told you that in order to find the value of x on the x-axis is to use y equals 0. Let's use y equals 0, minus x square minus 4. I'll take -4 to the other side. I will get 4 equals minus x square. I'll take this minus to the other side. I'll get -4 equals x square. And I have under root -4 equals x square. So this means we have no real roots, right? No real roots. So this is another way of proving our curve, right? This is how we plot it. And we can see that this parabola is not cutting the x-axis at any point. So this certainly implies that this should be the case when we check it through the equation as well. We use y equals 0 in order to find the points jahan pe hamara curve y-axis ko cut karega. When we use y equals 0, we got these roots. Then what are these? No real solution. So this means that we are correct. Have you understood this different shape? Yes, Haris and Gayatri? Okay, and what about you, Gayatri? Gayatri, are you there? Okay, perfect. Okay, now I will give you a question. I want you to do it. Both of you. And this time around, obviously I'll send you for homework as well, but before going on to the next topic, I want कि अभी हम यहाँ पे भी थोड़ा सा कर लें. Okay, what if I give you y equals x square plus 4? Yep. Please do this. Do this and tell me the shape. Okay, I'll just plot the x-axis and y-axis.
मिस बना दिया.
Okay, and what are you getting exactly? Okay, is it a U-shaped curve or like this curve? Is it 1 or 2?
U shape. U
Okay.
shape. 4 points up.
Okay, perfect. And at this point,
Yes.
ये बनाए?
G.
Okay. And what are you getting for, what are the x values on x-axis? Please find those. And you would not be able to find those, okay? Why? Because your parabola is not cutting the x-axis at any point, and you can check that from here as well. Perfect. 0 equals x square plus 4. You will take this 4 to the other side. -4 equals x square. -4 plus minus equals x, right? This is no real solution. So we are clear with the plotting. Okay, let's use this plotting in solving quadratic inequalities. Okay, let's say that you have been asked to solve okay. Acha. So question 1. X square plus 6x plus 2 greater than 9? This is the question, okay? And how do we plot it? So how do we solve it? Okay, so obviously we'll take this 9 to this side. X square plus 6x plus 2 minus 9 greater than 0. X square plus 6x minus 7 greater than 0. And again, two numbers such that when we multiply them, we get minus 7. And when we add them, we get plus 6. So two numbers would be plus 7x minus 7 greater than 0. I can take x common. X plus 7 minus 1, x plus 7 greater than 0. And finally, I am getting x minus 1 and x plus 7 greater than 0. Any questions so far? Anything that you have not understood? We have done this factorization and all that content, but still, are you clear with this or not? Okay. Gayatri, are you clear as well? Okay. Now, what do you think? What do you think? What would be the answer? I want you guys to respond. Do you guys think that we will do x minus 1 greater than 0 and x plus 7 greater than 0? Just like we do for equalities?
X is greater than 1 and x is less than minus 7.
Okay, good that you responded, but okay, very well done. This is how we would have done if we had equation, right? This is an inequality. I'll tell you the logic. What is this inequality telling you? That when you're multiplying these two factors, the answer is greater than 0. It could be that both of these factors are less than 0. Even then you would have gotten the answer greater than 0. Do you understand? What if this factor was less than 0 and less than 0? Tabhi the product would be greater than 0. Let's say if these two factors were minus 7 and minus 8. The product would be positive, right? And it could be that both these factors are greater than 0. So for inequalities, since we cannot determine this way, we have to do something else. After this, as soon as you end this, you need to plot this. You need to plot this, okay? How do we plot this now? This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. And this is x minus 1, x plus 1. This is 0. Okay. Now, how would you plot y equals x minus 1 and x plus 7? You will simply see कि आपका जो ग्राफ है वो y एक्सिस पे कौन से पॉइंट्स पे कट करेगा. We know at y axis y is 0, at x axis y is 0. Okay, so 0 equals x minus 1 and x plus 7. This implies x is 1 and x is minus 7. So x is 1 and x is minus 7. This is clear that our graph is going to pass through these points. Okay, and would it be a U-shaped curve or other way around? It would be U-shaped curve because x and x would give us positive x square. So I know कि जो मेरा graph है, it would be of this type, right? Now for this thing, since we were not asked to sketch the graph, you don't have to find these points and all that. You just did this to know okay, what is the range of x? What is the range of x? Now, x is greater than minus 7. Okay. And less than 1? What do you guys think? I want an answer.
minus 7 minus 1 divided by 2 तो हमारा middle value आ जाएगी
No. We are not finding out this point. No, we are not finding out this point. We are trying to find out the range of x. Okay, this was the question. Huh? We need to find out the range of x. Okay, so Haris is saying greater than -7 and less than 1. Okay, good. But
Ji.
listen to me. Now, we used y equals x minus 1, x plus 7, right? Can I write y here instead of x minus 1 and x plus 7? Yes or no? Yes, I can write y, okay, because I have used this. I'm saying y equals x minus 1 into x plus 7. This is the curve of this one. So I can write y greater than 0. Can I do this? Yes, can I do this?
It's Q.
Okay, because I used y equals x minus 1, x plus 7. This is x minus 1 into x plus 7 greater than 0. So y greater than 0, Anna. Think about it this way. This is greater than 0, Gayatri, so y would be greater than 0 now because y is equal to this thing,
Ji.
right? Okay. And where is y greater than 0? Y is greater than 0 over here, right? Now, what is the value of x for y greater than 0? This, and all these values that are less than -7. Okay, I repeat. Apparently, we plotted a parabola for this equation, right? Y equals x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 7. Now, we know that for y less than 0, this would have been the range because this is the curve that is corresponding to y less than 0, and this is the curve that is corresponding to y greater than 0. Do you guys agree? The value of y is greater than 0, the value of y is greater than 0, the value of y is greater than 0, value of y is greater than 0, and this is the corresponding value of x. And this is telling us that x is greater than 1. And otherwise, if we talk about y less than 0, this is y less than 0, this is y less than 0, y less than 0, y less than 0, y less than 0. Corresponding values would have been these, okay? Would have been these. So in your inequalities, step 1 is to do till here, okay? Once you are done with this, just plot your curve जिस तरह हम plot करते हैं, ठीक है? Using this as your y, okay? Once you are done with your plotting, use this y great, either y would be greater than 0 or y would be less than 0. Now, look at your graph again and see where exactly is your y greater than 0. We know that y is greater than 0 in this part, right? Over here, y is greater than 0. So if we are getting something of this sort, these are the points where y is greater than 0. And not these, because on these points, y is less than 0, right? So jahan pe y greater than 0, we need to find corresponding value of x. If this point was -7 and if this point was 1, what is the range of x which we are getting for y greater than 0? X less than -7. And what is the range of x which we are getting for y greater than 0? Again, all these points. So this is 1, x greater than 1, right? So the answer would be x less than -1 or x greater than 1. Have you understood this question? No? Or yes? Okay. And what about you, Gayatri? Okay, perfect. Let's talk about another example. let's say that you were asked to plot x square minus x minus 2 greater than 0. Again, we start off with our regular steps. What are the regular steps? We need to make factors and whatever we do to find roots in an equation, right? So we think of two numbers such that when we multiply them, we get minus 2, and when we add them, we get minus 1. So two numbers क्या होंगे? X square minus 2x plus x minus 2 greater than 0. I have to factorize. I can take x common, x minus 2, plus I can take 1 common, x minus 2 greater than 0. And I have x plus 1, x minus 2 greater than 0. Again, I cannot find the values this way. I need to plot my curve. How do I plot my curve? We have this thing. So I write y equals x plus 1, x minus 2. Okay, and you need to be very, very
Unless
quick.
x is greater than 1 and another x value is x less than
आपने सारा प्लॉट
minus
करके
2.
किया? Very good.
जी.
This would be excellent minus 1. This would be 2. Again, positive shape होगी. Quickly हमने बस इसको you plot कर ली. You don't have to find all this because here the question was not to sketch the curve. The question was to find the solve the inequality. Okay, and Gayatri is getting x less than minus 1 and x greater than 2, right?
Yes.
Very well done. Why is she getting this? Because if x plus 1 into x minus 2 is greater than 0, this implies y is greater than 0. Where is y greater than 0? On this point, 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 on this point. We are getting two different ranges, okay? We are getting all this for y greater than 0. That would be all the values of x less than minus 1. And we are getting this for this range, right? So the answer would be x less than minus 1 or x greater than 2. Haris, did you understand this question? Okay. Now, the question is solve 4x square minus 12x greater than 7. Okay. Again, this is not the general form. We need to take 7 here. 4x square minus 12x minus 7 greater than 0. Okay. Now think about this. Two numbers which when we multiply, we get minus 28, and when we add them, we get minus 12. So we know that 7 into 4 is 28. 14 into 2 is 28, right? Do you guys agree with this? Yes, 14 into 2 is also 28, okay? And this means that we will have minus 14x plus 2x, right? Because this will give me minus 12. When I multiply them, I get minus 28. So 4x square, let me write down this way, plus 2x minus 14x minus 7 greater than 0. I can take 2x common because I have 2x common in both of these. 2x plus 1 minus 7 because I have 7 in both of these. 2x plus 1 greater than 0. What am I getting? 2x minus 7, 2x plus 1 greater than 0. Okay, I want you guys to find the exact answer and tell me. What would be the range this time? Please do it and tell me the answers. x is greater than 7/2 and the other one. अच्छा ओके, अब इसकी प्लॉटिंग में हमने बहुत ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना, ठीक है. We know that this would be the curve. फौरन से पहले think about the root. 2x minus 7 equals 0. 2x plus 1 equals 0. X is 7/2 and x is minus 1/2, right? Okay. Now this is minus 1/2. This is 7/2. Okay. And this would be a U-shaped curve. Is type curve. Again, y is greater than 0. When y is greater than 0, this would be the range and this would be the range. So x is less than minus 1/2 or x is greater than 7/2, right? 3.5. Yes, less than and 3.5. Okay. Perfect. So this would be the answer. And the last thing I'll quickly tell you कि अगर हमारे पास इधर सिर्फ ये डिफरेंस होता साइन का, तो what would be the answer? I have a meeting, but let me just try doing it quickly. अच्छा, अगर ये होता greater than, then y would be, sorry, wait. What was the sign this time? Yeah, okay, we already had this sign, sorry. What if we had less than, okay? Y is less than 0. Where is y less than 0? Below this point. On this point. ये कौन सी रेंज है? ये रेंज है between minus 1/2 and 7/2. This would have been the range. Have you understood this? You have to be very, very careful about the sign. यहाँ पे y is less than 0. When we talk about y less than 0, this is what we have, okay? Is it understood?
Repeat करें again.
Sorry, acha. What? Okay, I'll explain this again tomorrow, okay? Right. Anything else that you have not understood?